Everybody, good to see you. Just reading some of the comments in the chat. It's so lovely how you're writing in, saying where you're from and what the weather is. It's so nice. We have a global community, don't we? Thank you. I have an interesting, really cool event happening this weekend. I'll be participating in what's called the New Beginnings Global Conference with lots of amazing, inspiring teachers, a lot of them Course in Miracles related. And I'm excited about this. So you can join in from your home. It's a 3-day conference with about 30 amazing speakers. So I put the link in the chat, and I'll also post it in the comments when we post the video. When Apollo 11 was about to take off for the moon, the ground control in NASA was monitoring the heartbeat rate of the astronauts. And they found that two of the astronauts, Michael Collins and Neil Armstrong, had a very high heart rate, like 110 beats per minute. Now, Buzz Aldrin, on the other hand, the third astronaut, registered only at 82 beats per minute, which was close to normal. So isn't it interesting, as these three men sat at the 320-foot height of this Saturn V rocket with like 17 million pounds of thrust, and the thing was rattling like crazy, two of the guys were pretty nervous, understandably, who wouldn't be? But one guy was almost completely relaxed. And what that tells me is that relaxation and stress are more attitudinal than they are situational. That's what I want to look at with you today. And I wore my special shirt today. I don't know if you can see it, but it says "Too blessed to be stressed." So my little message: relax, you're in good hands. Relax, you're in good hands, as we all are. So let's get back to this stress and attitude factor. So one time I was hiking into Haleakala Volcano in Maui, and you can rent some cabins. So I went with 3 or 4 friends, and we got up early one day, and we hiked to the summit, and then you go down this long Switchback Trail. And it was a pretty cloudy, misty day. And so we just kept going, had a great time. And then we slept over in this cabin, and the next morning we were about to come back up, and the sun was out this time, and I found that this Switchback Trail was set against like 1,000-foot drop-off cliffs. And I got a little nervous because I'm not a big fan of heights, and one false move and you're over the edge. And I had as close to what anybody might call a panic attack as they've ever had. I just felt frozen. I didn't want to go forward and go backwards. And then I noticed that above me there was a woman hiking down the trail. And she was just having a good old time. She had her water bottle, and she was looking around and whistling and singing. I was like, oh, she was in heaven. And I thought, wait a minute. She and I are both on the same trail, and I'm scared bleepless, and she was in ecstasy. So is there anything inherently scary about the trail? And the answer is not at all. The answer is that it was my perception of the trail that made it stressful for her. And I thought, well, what would happen if I just assumed that I wasn't going to fall, and this was an easy trail, and I just had a lot of fun? Why waste the remainder of this hike in fear? So I imagined I was her, just enjoying this trail, and my stress just lifted and the panic lifted, and I had such a good time, and I realized that it was actually a wonderful opportunity to enjoy a beautiful hike. But my mind made up a story that this was scary. And the scary made stress, and the stress debilitated me. Now, we know the Course in Miracles says that every moment is a choice between fear and love. And in one of the early lessons of the Course, it gives us a really great affirmation to get out of stress. And I use it a lot. And it goes like this. I could see peace instead of this. I could see peace instead of this. So take a moment now and think about something that is stressful for you in your life. Maybe it's the pandemic, maybe it's the environment, maybe you're worried about your family, maybe you're worried about your job. So just hold that in mind for a moment and then take the thought, I could see peace instead of this. Peace is an option. And if I just shifted my attitude, sometimes even a little bit, peace would be my experience. Whoa, I don't have to be scared about this. I don't have to be stressed. And so you see that stress and bless are two different frequencies. Just like fear and love, the same thing. And you cannot have your radio tuner set on two frequencies simultaneously. You have to be in one place or the other. So if you're in stress, shift to bless by asking yourself, what could I be grateful for here? What could be peace-inducing here? I was once having an argument with a girlfriend many, many years ago, and we were both Course in Miracles students. And she said, well, let's just try to shift this. She said, let's both talk about what we're grateful for about each other. I said, yeah, I can do that. So we stopped the argument, and we just went into gratitude. I made my list, she made her list, and boom, within about 3 minutes, the end of argument. Because you cannot be in resistance and gratitude at the same time. You can't be in stress and bless at the same time. And the truth is that we're always blessed. It's just our veil of fear, our misperception that makes us seem that we're not blessed, but we are blessed, even when we think we're not. Now, some scientists or psychologists say that some stress is good, that studying for an exam makes you perform better, or if you have a music competition, you'll perform better if you're stressed. I don't quite agree. I think that stress is really motivating only if you're in a fight or flight, live or die situation. So if you're a deer in the woods and a tiger comes, and your adrenals kick in, and that kind of stress makes you run for the hills and get a safe place, yeah, that works. However, what we've done in our world of fear and illusion is we misinterpret non-threatening situations as threatening. And so we drop into fight or flight mechanism when that's not really what is required. That's why a lot of people have adrenal blowouts, because they misperceive non-threatening situations as threatening, and their adrenals are working overtime, and they get adrenal fatigue. And it's only because of the misperception of seeing stress where it's not. And of course, in Miracles, it tells us, if you really want to take us to the ultimate extreme, that there's no situation that is really threatening. That if you know who you are as a child of God, and you know that as a spiritual being, you're absolutely invulnerable and immortal and eternal, then nothing that happens in the world is truly threatening to your spirit, because your spirit is whole no matter what, and your spirit is bigger than anything that happens to you in the physical world. Now, if you look at the word dis-ease, it gives us a really powerful clue as to how we were born to live. It means that ease is our natural state. And take this affirmation with me for a moment. Ease is my natural state. And in my trainings, in my coach trainings and other trainings, I give people the affirmation, let it be easy. Struggle is not required. And I ask the question, I ask them to take a difficult situation. I ask them, if you are willing to let it be easy, how would you be approaching this differently? Ooh, that's $1 million question. Now, ease does not mean lazy or shirking your responsibilities or being too self-indulgent, but it does mean that most of the time, if not all the time, when we're stressed, we're superimposing hardship over what could be easy. And the word dis-ease is a code, because when you dis-ease, you get disease. So Spirit wants us to take it easy. Take it easy, take it easy, take it easy. Some other affirmations I give are, I always have enough time to do what Spirit would have me do. If somebody wants to type that into the chat, please go right ahead. I always have enough time to do what Spirit would have me do. And the other one I love is, I can always do one thing less than I think I can. I can always do one thing less than I think I can. And if you're really honest, you will see that when you get stressed, you are superimposing all kinds of tasks over what really needs to be done. You might ask yourself, if you feel stressed about looking at your day, ask yourself, what do I really need to do? And what's optional? And what do I think I need to do that maybe I could do tomorrow or never? And if I were kinder to myself, and if I built self-nurturing and self-care into my day, and I took some time to relax or nap or do yoga, or take a walk or listen to music or watch a funny video, how would that improve my day? And the truth is, it would improve your day immensely. There's an absolute relationship between stress and disease. And I ran into a fellow on the beach in Maui one day. He's a local guy, native guy. And he told me that his grandmother, who lived in Hana, Maui, had just passed away at the age of 117. Hana is a very, very remote community. It takes hours to get there. It's very beautiful. And it's a lot of native Hawaiians live there. It's very low-key, low-tech. And he says in her lifetime, until age 117, she never watched television, she never rode in a car, and she never went to a doctor. Now that might tell you something about the relationship between ease and being in nature and being stressed and being sick and living a long life. So let me ask you a question before we close. So Spirit wants us to always be happy. Spirit always wants us to be blessed. Relax, Spirit's in charge. When we start to get stressed, our body usually gives us some sign that says we've stepped over a line. True or untrue? It is so. So I want to ask you now, what symptom does your body personally give you that says you're getting stressed? It's time to stop. It could be a sore throat, indigestion, a headache, lower back pain, eliminative organ pain or stress somehow or constriction. And what's happening in that moment is Spirit is loving you so much. It's saying, hey, you're just about to do much, or now you're doing too much. Now it's time to step back and take care of yourself. And I think if you're honest, you will notice that when you get sick or way run down, it's because you did not heed the early signs of stress. You take a pill, you work harder, you take a joint, you do something that gets you through it, but you're still stressing yourself. So what if we accepted the gift from God when we get that sore throat or headaches? Okay, now it's time to step back. Let me just take 15 minutes. Let me just breathe here. Let me just do a little chant. Let me just do a little meditation. Let me call up somebody I love and say, hi, I love you. Thank you. And in those moments, you quit being stressed and you bless yourself and you bless others. Now let's finish with this note, that if you're worried about somebody in your life, a child, a spouse, a friend, and people ask me, how can I help my spouse to be less stressed? And there's one answer, be less stressed yourself. Be a model. When you drop into your state of blessing and knowing that you are deeply loved and well-being abounds right where you are, you get your MBU degree. You become a mobile blessing unit. And whoever comes into your presence will start to de-stress and become more blessed because you are. Stressed or blessed. At every single moment it's a choice. And the truth is, we're all really too blessed to be stressed. Thanks for tuning in. Love you lots. We'll see you tomorrow.